like this movie shouldn't be called Hercules. I feel like it should be called Hercules and Friends, because he has a whole team behind him helping him, and they're much more interesting than he is. Hercules, starring The Rock and Company and directed by Brett Ratner. Now we're all pretty familiar with the myth of Hercules, or the Disney film at least. The Rock plays the title legendary character, and in this film he is more of a mercenary than, your average demigod. And instead of doing things alone, he has a whole posse with him, including his nephew, who's the one who spreads these fantastical stories of Hercules and the mighty deeds he has done. He and his companions are hired by King to help defeat this evil person who is attacking his kingdom and doing bad things to his people and all that stuff. But of course, not everything is as it seems, and that's pretty much all I can say without giving too much of the plot away, so there you go. But obviously, there are plenty of other things I could comment on, including the fact that in this movie, a lot of the mystical elements that we're so used to being associated with Hercules are not really in this movie. One, it's not really made clear if Hercules is in fact the son of Zeus. Obviously, it's made to be part of the legend of Hercules, but it's not necessarily the truth. And there are other things that are either taken out or made more realistic. And I kind of get what they're going for, just because, to switch things up and to make it more interesting. But at the same time, when you think of Hercules, you think of these really cool creatures and all this mystical stuff. And the movie just lacks that. It's more of, people fighting each other. And I guess that's a little more compelling than, creatures and all that stuff. But then it just doesn't feel like a Hercules movie in the end. And I don't really see the point in making a Hercules movie if, one, it's not going to be an origin story, you don't, get everything, or if you're just going to take all that mythical stuff out, it just doesn't make sense. And really, it should be called Hercules and Friends. That was a dead serious thing, because his company, his companions, are much more interesting and a lot more fun than Hercules himself. He has one person in his group that doesn't even talk, and they're way more interesting than him. The Rock does a good job, but he's just being The Rock. Everyone else is, British. I do have to give it credit for its action sequences. Those were actually pretty well done. And the fact that there wasn't too much of a problem with CGI, because again, mythical stuff wasn't a huge factor, so, they could do more sets, and most of the action was people on people, so that helped it make the scenes more realistic and therefore more badass, and they did a great job with that. So again, as an action movie, if you just want to see some cool battle scenes, and this is, check it out. It's a fun movie in that respect. But the ending, it also feels like it kind of wraps up too quickly. It's a little anticlimactic, and it's also kind of a cop-out, because it's just like, Hercules. He may or may not be a demigod. And it's just like, what's the point? What's the point making an Hercules movie? I do have to say the movie is enjoyable, and it's definitely not terrible. It's fun. His companions are a great part of the film and make it also a lot more fun. And so, with that said, I'm going to give Hercules a meh.5, which is 3.5 out of 5 stars. So what did you guys think of the movie? Let me know in the comments. Let's talk about it. Alright, that's it for me. Hope you're having a great day, and I will see you soon. Toodles!